Good morning, everybody. So here's a little project I'm working on. The missus really wants a really nice electric fireplace. Not my thing, but hey, this is going to be her Christmas present. So what we have is a little space here beside the bed, and she would like it to be mounted right about there. We have a plug right there for it. Fantastic. Can help to keep this particular room, our master bedroom, in a little bit warmer in the winter without having to heat up the whole house. So, effectively that could be a little bit more efficient. And well, we have a little bit of a challenge though. I have to try and match this. Now, shouldn't be that hard, mainly because, it's just wood, right? We have a couple details here. Number one, this is basically just like a rail and style kind of setup. And these are proud of the surface. So I'm going to try and replicate that somehow. And easy enough to make some styles. The tough part is going to be the finish. Here at the headboard, we have basically a style here, a full rail here. It's just basically one big piece. And this is just a recessed part here. So, okay, I can reproduce that, and I think it would look okay from the side. I don't know if you can see from this point, this is our dresser, and it has more of a sort of a bigger rail and style. This is just, I believe, particle board with whatever on it. This is supposed to be pine, This is just edge banding, 2 layers of edge banding, oddly enough. And all of this is just laminated. So I can reproduce that. Wasn't able to get 1-inch thick boards to do this with, but that's okay. And same with this. This is just laminated here, halfway in, and I can do that. So I'm going to head out to the shop, and we're going to start just getting some wood. Oh yeah, there's about a 1-inch gap here, so I'm just going to try and replicate that, where the face of the electric fireplace will sit 1 inch in, and then I'll just have to make something to fit in here that it's going to sort of mount to. Let's go see what I can put together. Oh yeah, this is the one other thing. It needs to match this. I don't know how close I can come, probably pretty close, but we're going to also install a little bit of faux stone just to make it kind of blend in with the headboard of our bed here. Okay, so after all the glue up, I've basically just milled all these down. So these are those laminated beams. You can see there's 1, 2, 3. I'm okay with that. This is going to be the front face. These are the side beams, and or I guess these are the rails. These are the stiles, or vice versa. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. So when we look at it, I'm just going to move this down here. There we go. It's just going to be a simple butt joint. But for me, to be able to get that solid, and again, this thing's going to have a nice fireplace in it and all that type of stuff, we're going to use these things. Now, these are 8mm. I'm going to want to put 2 in here, sort of offset. But the other challenge is that this has to be offset above a little bit with a chamfer. How am I going to do that? I think probably the best bet is I'm going to, I got it printing right now, a 3D printed little offset here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to basically use the domino and then put a packer or a spacer in there when I do the next bit, and that's just going to move the dominoes down a little bit further or up so that I can get that done better. I have a bunch of scraps, so I cut everything really long so I'd have lots to mess with. So I have this piece, which is one of the rails, sits like that. It'll sit like that, and this is going to be one of the stiles. Again, they've been all planed to exactly the same thickness. I'm going to get the sander out and pre-sand it all before it all goes together, and before I start, doing the finishing and get that all ready. What else am I going to do? Oh, and I got to try and figure out a way to get these centered the right way here in the middle. Crap. That I don't know how to do. And then down at the bottom here, I got to, offset this up a little bit. I'll have to measure that and figure out my offset there. So, got some figuring out. Once I get that all worked in my head, I'll show you how I'm doing it. It's probably not the right way. It's probably an easier way. But it's the way I'm going to do it, and hopefully it doesn't explode. So after a whole bunch of head and butt scratching, I got things figured out. So I got the offset done here. So when I have the dominoes in there, I got just enough for that little chamfer to show through as the other ones. Went through a whole bunch of samples and stuff like that. Let me show you. Here. Okay, did that one, that one. Finally got it. That's the final one. And the way to do that is the part you want taller or to stick up, like this one, you do the domino on it. So for mine, when I was getting it, the guys at Wooden Edge gave me 2 pieces of advice. Make sure that that comes with it and that this comes with it. So this is an arrow stock guide, and this is the part that allows you to gives it a longer face to connect to. So really, the way I did it was I basically mounted this way, actually vertically. So I had it stuck like this, clamped to the bench. There we go. And then I just came in, did this one at 15 millimeters on the, where's the stop block here? Oh, here. Okay. Here's the domino. This is where you have the depth, right here. Oh, come on, focus, Mr. Camera. There we go, ish. So that's the depth of how high this fence will be. So I set the first one at 15 millimeters, and then I set it to 30 millimeters. And that gave me the right offset from the top. When I did these ones, to make sure that it was offset a little bit, flipped it down, put my little packer on there, and then what it did was it raised up those domino holes just enough so that when it's on, it's actually lower. It works good. I'll show you when it's all done, but just need a little packer. This is a 2.5, 2.5 millimeter, 3D printed little spacer. I got a few of these now made up. I'm just gonna have a little box with them in it and go from there. So now that I have all that set up, I'm ready to do the sides. Okay. So we have this face here. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So we got that one set up. Good. Now what we need to do is we need to set this one up on the side. Sorry, horrible camera work. I'm tired. My brain is done. Grey Cup is coming up, and the Bombers are about to go kick some Alouette butt. So, thinking a lot about that. Anyways, to make sure that these are at the right spot, remember, I haven't done this a whole lot. I haven't used the domino a whole lot. Is basically I'm just going to clamp this like this so that the two are lined up. Take all those things off the domino, and I'm just going to use the base plate. One slot and on each way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of 3/4 inch MDF. Put it there, and then that'll offset my next slot. It works. Oh yeah, here. I did one here, and somewhere else. I can't find the other strap. Anyways, it worked. So this is where I want it to be. You offset it by 3/4 inch or whatever that is at the bottom. So that would be the bottom of the next domino. It's going to work good, I hope. So let me do one of these guys and let's see what happens. Let's see how much I can screw everything up. Not that I do that a lot, but you know, it's been known to happen. Okay, I got everything done here. I got my 2 domino slots done in. I went with the slightly wider just to make sure I had enough, wiggle room to get it nice and flush and everything else like that. All I did was I did one flush to the base plate there, and then just put this down, sat over top, and gave me the offset. Did the other way, this way. Worked good. Let's have a look. One-handed, slide this in, see how it looks. Oh, look at that. One-handed, just, oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a look here. So that's the line I have to meet. Man, this system works good. I've always been a skeptic of Festool and some of their business practices, but dang it. I don't know how else I could do that. Okay, you can use dowels and some other ways, and well, pocket screws won't work because you'll see them, and this is just a super easy way to make a nice, perfect, tight. Oh, okay, well, so once this thing's glued up, it's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to get the rest of the frame all kind of done up. Next time you're going to see it is after most of it's all sort of ready to go, and then I got to do some other work with it. Okay, everybody, we're kind of back to this fireplace project. We have a few other things going on, but it's all good. Got the main frame all done up, and really happy how this has all turned out. We have the main rail. Down here is going to be the faux stone area. Up here is going to be where the glass sits in. I didn't film this because, it's just making a square out of wood. Next detail is I have to chamfer the edges. So up at the top here, in the front only, on these sides, the back side, this side on this, same on this, top, bottom, and this one edge, same on that one. And I have to figure that out. Now, looking at this here, we have, if we can look carefully and if this thing can focus, come on camera, come on boy. Anyways, somewhere on there. You can see there's chamfers on all 4 top sides. Now the issue is, if you're going to try and do this on a router table, how do you keep it from chipping out? Because there's a few spots here where it did chip out. I've been messing with this. And I'm going to use a fairly unconventional way of doing things. And let's see if that works. Hopefully it does. So let me get all set up on the router table. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm set up here at the router, and normally when you're using a router, the bit is spinning this way, and so you want to always work into the bit to, let it chew out that way. The problem is, on this trailing edge, especially with the grain running this way, it's going to want to split this out. So there's a couple ways we can deal with that. Number one is we can use a backer. So I have this cut. You can see there's a little bit of a chamfer there. And what that does is if you line it up perfectly, it's going to support those fibers on the backside. That's good. The other thing you can do is you can just go for it and hope it works. But again, I only got enough cut. I got one extra spare piece just in case of catastrophic issues, and I don't want this to happen, and it could happen on any single one of them. So the other way is do what's called a climb cut. Not a traditional cut, this going a climb cut. You got to be really careful. So I'm going to get both arms in here, and we would, again, tables off, unplugged, we're all safe there. We're going to let the router bit kind of chew into it a little bit. And that can sometimes, I find, give a little bit better result. Again, we're going to keep our fingers way away. An even better result if we combine all of it. So we line all that up nice and solid there. Both hands tight. And we're just going to do a nice, easy climb cut just like that across. So let's give that a shot. I'm going to get a few things set up here and get my hearing protection on. And let's give that a try. So I'll try one where I just rip it through. And then I'll try one with the climb cut. See how it does. Okay, if we look at it here, this is the one with the climb cut. Hopefully it's focused. It is really nice and smooth. I don't get any tear out or anything like that. The one where I just ripped it through, it's a bit rougher. You can't see it, but you can definitely feel it. I tried that on this one. It did okay. But if you look right there, that's the one I just ripped through. There's a little bit of tear out right there. On the climb cut, going into that fresh edge, nothing. So I think for all of these, I'm going to take a deep breath, pucker everything up a little bit, and I'm going to do these. Oh man, I hate this. I'm nervous. So let me get these all done up and I'll show you the results. All right, we got all the routering done. It went really good. If we look at the detail right here, you can see how there's this little sort of groove here. But more importantly, you can see how this top rail comes into this post right here. And it's a beautiful transition. It's almost perfect if you can, this thing would focus. God darn it. Okay. And this is how our bedroom set is set up. And again, it's inconsistent. So this is going to be better than our bedroom set. And then coming down here, same thing with the middle rail. Again, if we bring the end rail in, same thing here. We get that sort of nice little V detail in there. Okay, it's turned out really good. So now that I can sort of unpucker everything and take a deep breath, just had to go slow. All these edges are butter smooth. The other thing I noticed is that my router was running a bit slow. So I took it up a notch, and that smoothed it out even more. So this is almost ready to glue up. I just have to figure out how to mount this guy into this guy. And that's sort of coming along. The other thing I need to do is on the back side of this, figure out a way for this to have a platform for the other part to mount on that I can attach and detach from the back. Because of the details I'm trying to do and matching the other stuff, when I put the, when I put the front of it on and when I screw it in, the glass has to move up to pop out. I don't think there's enough room here. So I want to be able to prefigure it out so I can not have to worry about that part and basically just mount the glass and the whole unit onto a couple pieces of wood. It'll be in here, indexed, and then what'll happen is I can screw it in from the back. Because normally what you do is take the glass off, you screw it in from the front down. I'll already have some mounting rails done there, and they just will attach it in from the back. So that's a little bit of thinking. This doesn't need to be routed, it just needs to be surface sanded, thickness sanded for consistency. So I'm going to get the big wide belt sander going on that. Go from there. I think this has come along really nice. Hope the missus likes it. It's her Christmas present. All right, let me do some more working and I'll get back to you on this. Okay, we're up to this point in the project. It's really nasty and cold out. My heat pump's going like crazy if you hear some buzzing in the background. So have all the rails and stiles and everything. This is the main part that's going to be supporting and or facing from the fireplace. We have a whole bunch of lots of dominoes. I got a bunch on this side. If we flip it over on the back, whoopsie, yeah, that's a good idea to drop that. We have a whole bunch here. That's going to allow me to mount the side wings, or like the sides of it. Everything's done up, mocked up. Looks like it's fitting good. So it's going to be time to glue it up. I'm nervous. I hate glue ups because I always screw something up. But I think the order of operations will be this to these, this rail, that rail, get those kind of in place. And then the side rails, I think we're good. Once I got it all glued up, I'll show you kind of how it's looking and we'll go from there. Okay, we got everything done. I'm out of breath because that was a bit of a struggle. So you can kind of see how it's all coming together now. Learned something very, very invaluable. When working with dominoes, it may be better to have some glued in first, because trying to glue all these little dominoes in as you're going along, it's a bit of a thought process there. So anyways, the next thing we got to do is to, once this all dries, we're going to start figuring out the depth we have to have for the braces on the back. That's in case I have to change something or modify some stuff in the back parts. And once that's done, all that's going to happen on this side is from the underneath, I'm just going to glue and nail, just some brad nails, some little slats that the faux stone is going to sit on. Once that's all done, I can do a mock-up, make sure it all works good, and once that's good, then strip it all down, all the mechanicals out of it, and the stone will be the very last thing I put in because it's delicate and I don't want to mess with that too much. And then just stain it, finish it, then install it. So I'm on track to get this done for the missus for Christmas, so I'm excited. Catch you when I got more done. Okay, back to the can never have too many clamps. We have everything done. We have the back plate finished up. If I haven't been keeping you up to date, it's mainly because I just got to get this thing done before Christmas. So I made some blocks to offset everything and some rails to mount the component to. Thankfully, the glass will be able to fit in, so I don't have to make any removable part on this end. It's all going to work really good. I can adjust for square, level. I love all that. The side panels are on. I got my nice little offset there. A little bit of glue squeeze out. I'm going to have to kind of gently shave that down. Get the glue off before I stain it, because, you know, glue and stain don't mix. Everything's square and true. I had to put a couple little pin nails in the ends there, just to kind of hold that sort of butt joint together. On the inside, there's going to actually be a square down or up high. This is the top part on this end. To mount some of those 3M Velcro strips. So everything looks pretty good, pretty square. I'm really happy with it. So once this is all set up, I'll come out tomorrow, take all the clamps off, do a dry fit. If you want to see maybe a dry fit, I'll throw that on there. And do a run, make sure it all works. And if that's good, then just time to finish it, which is the part I hate the worst. Have a good one. See you in a bit. Okay, just a quick update off the phone here. We have almost gotten there. So I hit it with a couple coats of stain, oil-based stain. Never stained anything before in my life, but that's the only way I could get the color to match our home, bedroom suite. And I just hit it with a coat of poly. You can kind of see a little bit of shine there. I got 3 hours and I could recoat. And the missus likes it. So where you see in the center there where it's all blotchy, doesn't matter. It's all going to be covered over. So I'm not going to go stain everything all to within an inch of its life. Here's our reference piece. Where is it? There we go. So if we put down, it's pretty close. Like close enough for hand grenades and horseshoes, and stuff's going to be, quite a bit of ways away. The reference piece has a matte finish. This is the Verathene Professional 1200 matte oil-based, so I know it's going to dry. You can even start seeing here, it's less and less shiny, so we'll let this cure up a little bit, get another coat on it, see how we're doing. What I'll probably do is then let it dry overnight and hit it one more time tomorrow. And that should be pretty much it. Good 3 brushed on coats. Oh, little tip. I love the, the Glad Press and Seal. So what you do is you take a little piece off and you can put your brush in this stuff and then boom, it's awesome. You can just, reuse it a few times, throw it all out. I don't tend to reuse brushes after I've used something like a oil-based polyurethane. Just, I don't know, just my own thing. So I'll let this zip along and I'll catch up later. So I have all of the staining and polyurethaning done. I got flipped over. Just got these backers here. This is where the faux stone is going to attach to. I got some little blocks up in the corners. They're just done with the CA glue and regular glue thing. So I'm just going to do some more down on this edge and this edge. And then we flip it over, put the faux stone in, let it cure overnight. I think tomorrow we're going to have it in place. This is going to be happy. Okay, catch you in a bit. Just about there. Just about there. So I got all the faux stone in. So I had some slats running this way. Hopefully I can show you on the other side. I'm just time crunch. I just got to get it done. So this part is all in, all nice and solid. I've used a caulking on the back, roughened up the back of this stuff. Let me show you the back here. Sorry for the bad camera work. Just cut it with a miter saw. But it has this really shiny kind of lacquer on it. So I scuffed it up really good and put a big thick blob of caulking on the thingamajigger. And yeah, all we gotta do is just drop the fireplace part in here and we're done. So this poly was put on about 3.5 hours ago. So it's still a little soft, not ready for prime time yet. By the morning, should be all good to go. That looks snazzy, doesn't it? It's almost identical to our bedroom suite. You'll see when we get it in there, and I'll do a comparison. But like, oh, I can't believe it. Just can't believe it. Like, really, you would be hard pressed unless they were absolutely side by side to tell the difference. And if you notice on this one, pigtails. That's the one that came from the factory. We got an extra piece. There's some option or whatever, and that thing, no pigtails. All right, have a good sleep, everybody. Catch you in the morning. Hey, everybody. We got the, yes, I am married. There is a Mrs. Woodbutcher there. So she's helping me put the final touches on. We have the fireplace installed here. We've got the faux stone. Cord comes out. You can see deep in there. On this fireplace, there is just one connection to the front. It has a remote control kind of thingy on the front. I love it. And so we just got to kind of clean the glass up. I cleaned that part up. I've got to clean this part up. If you look here, the only thing we have to be careful of is making sure that this gets plugged in properly. And so let me work on that. And we're going to clean the glass, get it together here on the bench, do a test, and see if it works. Okay, here we go. So we got it all installed. It looks pretty snazzy. I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of goes with our furniture and everything. So in this particular unit, there's a little power button in there. So that's on. Oh, you can see right here, we got an on button there. Oh, okay, so that's the bottom where the LEDs shine up. There's some stuff that goes in there to diffract it a little bit. This is not an LCD screen, although that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So it kind of gives that look. Yeah. So all we got to do now is just take it all apart. Basically just take the glass off, because this is heavy, and get it in the house, and then go from there. So let me turn that off. And we'll show you when it's all installed. 1, 2, 3, bloop. Oh, look at that. Okay. Now, just for posterity's sake, this is what it looks like on the back side. That's the back of that faux stone. It's, again, I took all the shiny stuff off. This is how this sits in. It's anchored here and on the side there. It's all nicely aligned. Cord will go in behind, and I had to get a little special cord that will allow it to plug in without any pressure on that stuff. So looks like it's going to do pretty good. The missus and I are just taking a little break because it's a bloody heavy thing. Okay, show you when it's installed. Okay, everybody, it's all finished. Look at that, it's in place. The missus is incredibly happy. So the neat thing is that, number one, it doesn't take up a lot of space. When we look at from the side here, Little bit of a reveal on this side. Sorry, it's dark in here, but otherwise where it's hard to get some good contrast. Nicely centered. I think it looks pretty snazzy. The missus loves it. So, hey, I hope this helps you. If you see something on Amazon that you kind of like, but it just isn't your thing, make your own. Make people happy. Go out, make a mess, have some fun. We'll catch you later.